right, the home stretch, man.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game 3, the ace match of El Clasico NaVi Alliance, now officially underway. To reiterate once more, the biggin, elimination here. Winner going to China, loser going home with nothing but a bucket of tears.
Liter of tears.
A liter of tears, that's right. Well done, sir. I was
say.
wondering if you were going to catch that. How you doing, Merlini? How you feeling? It's been a long, good day of casting. So much epic Dota.
Alliance's strategy didn't really pan out in the end. They won the laning phase, which is definitely what they were going for, and they got a Roshan, but after that, it just seemed like they had not enough sustained damage for the Bristleback. And they couldn't ever kill the Wisp. If they all in on the Wisp, they got RP'd. If they didn't kill the Wisp, Bristle would just be invincible.
It seemed like kind of the issue was they would take fights and they would get pickoffs, but Bristle just stopped dying. He died twice that entire game. So every fight, even if NaVi would trade kind of evenly, Bristle's still coming out ahead. And they kept killing Loda over and over. So you've got this Bristle who's steadily going up, this Troll who started high and is just kind of steadily not really growing that fast. And the end result is a Troll that doesn't do anything and a Bristleback that's wrecking your base.
None of the supports seem to... In theory, they're supposed to be good LC counters, but they actually couldn't stop the duels, ever. Like, even with a defensive disrupt, even with a Grave, Loda always kept dying. And I think part of that was the supports sometimes being out of position. Sometimes it was just Funnick being really patient and looking for those initiates. And even if he died, he still put the pressure. It was like, crap, Loda's like, crap, I keep dying and dying and dying for this. Where am I supposed to farm without dying? And eventually they got to the point where NaVi was able to ward up their side of the map and just take a couple of kills and it was over from there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see some familiar faces here. NaVi go back to their roots with an early pick on the puck. First game, that was the Funnick off-lane hero, and Alliance will go back into the Brewmaster Chen. We saw Ake Chen as well earlier in this series. It lived up to the hype and may do so again.
But NaVi already have the puck that was just so instrumental in delaying the early pushes in game number 1. Secured for Funnick, and on top of that, they don't have the Lion counter like they did.
Yeah, a good pick from NaVi for that second. Now, the other thing here, though, is Alliance might not go for like kind of an quote-unquote all-in push strat like we saw in game 1, or a very heavy push strat. It could just be kind of a casual Chen, knock some early towers down, and, you know, transpire a little more regularly, team fighty, not based around knocking down towers.
Ooh, the Funnick Clinks banned out. Whew. That's an old one.
Yeah.
Great versus Chen. NaVi's on Dire side.
Just eat those yummy creeps.
Yeah, eat those yummy creeps. It's not a hard counter, especially now that Chen has 4 creeps. The damage done is a little bit less, but it's still so annoying to deal with, because usually in the middle of a fight you have Death Pact on and then it falls off and you're like, crap, I don't really want to fight without Death Pact, but I really don't want to go to the jungle to get another creep.
Yeah. There's one solution: getting Aghanims. You can't eat the big ones.
That'd be nice.
That is one little thing now that Chen can do if they're getting wrecked by a Clinks, but pretty minor in general. NaVi will ban out the Broodmother as well as Juggernaut with their 3rd and 4th bans. So no Juggy this time around. And they'll think about this 3rd pick. Still a lot of options for them here.
5 seconds remaining.
Pretty well-rounded opener. What are you thinking about NaVi after that last game? Will we see a Bristle again? You think they'll try to do something similar, or given that it's now into this best of 1, throw a wrench in the mix and try something a little different?
It was the Wisp that was mainly the problem. I don't actually think the Bristle was the problem. Bristle without the Wisp would have died.
Yeah.
Fairly easily.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're right.
But the Wisp was just like too much to handle, and they were even able to outlast like a Weave. Like the full duration of Weave, it didn't matter. Bristle still wrecked them and didn't take any damage. So I don't think they're terribly scared of this game. NaVi, of course, can turn to it again.
Yeah, they will pick up the Lycan. So NaVi going to do a little pushing of their own here.
That's a very smart ban, or smart pick, because they also deny from Alliance. Loda plays his hero a fair amount, great synergy with Brew and Chen.
And they've got the puck for themselves. And what do Alliance do here? Lots and lots of options. I guess making that decider of do we want to push a lot or do we want to just have an Ake Chen and go for some more team fight?
Surprised we haven't seen the Omni strats.
Yeah, no Omni. He's all the rage in North America, man. Europe is just not about the Omni.
He's hard to deal with.
He's very hard to deal with. And the problem with him for a while was, where do you lane him? How does he get experience? But now the way folks work the jungle and that early game, it's not that hard for him to get level 2, level 3, and then he starts coming online a little bit, and before you know it, Omni's got an Aghanim Scepter, and he's that global presence who's just AFK in the well.
Witch Doctor, decent against counter-initiating against a Lion and a Puck, but at the same time, no reliable disables for the Puck. Nothing that he can't face it.
No silences.
And
it's not yet.
I guess maybe the net from Trolls can help in that regard, but at the same time, I mean, there are 2 support slots that are already taken.
Yeah. So here's a hero that's fallen off a little bit in popularity. The Lightning Revenant, Mr. Razor for NaVi. Still a pretty potent hero, but just been hit by a kind of a series of micro nerfs. The static link not as strong as it once was. We'll see how this works, but does synergize well with the Lycan for pushing. Minus armor, lets him get those licks in. Nice, well-rounded spread of damage that NaVi's got here. Lots of magic, lots of physical.
Very good versus the Brewmaster in the mid lane, and another anti-push with the Plasma Field in case Alliance decides to go for a heavy push committed strat like game number 1. Also, I mean, they have decent push of their own now with the Scepter Razor and the Lycan. They can actually take down towers fairly quickly.
Yeah, that's Lycan, kind of like Troll on that front, where you win a team fight and you can expect some objectives to fall with how quickly he can take out Roche or flash push towers, all that good stuff. Alliance dipping deep into the reserve time here, and there's the Terrorblade. Glad we talked about it in the last match. He has really fallen off in popularity, but it is a hero that Lotus still runs, keeps in his arsenal. And
tough versus a Lion, though.
Tough
really
against
tough.
the Lion, but TB's pretty good against Lycan, I think, right? Kind of in general. What? Or I guess maybe I'm phrasing this question wrong. Why Terrorblade here over all of the other carries they could have chosen from?
Because he pushes.
Remaining.
And Lycan's taken. I think they actually would have gone for Lycan had Lycan not been taken by NaVi.
Okay, I can see that. It would have fit in well with their draft. Maybe a good read from Go Black to block it and grab it for themselves.
I really do think it was. I mean, he banned a lot of the other pushers. Troll, Brood, Jug, like all of these synergize very well with opener of Brood Chen. And Brood Chen's like a nice kind of hidden opener if you wanted to run for a push drag, because you know Brew's Brew, everyone picks Brew, and Chen is something that Alliance runs very often, but they're not very well known for pushing early, and it's something that just Aki turns to as a support that they're very comfortable running with them, and this way they can reveal their push in the third and fourth picks as opposed to the second pick. But Godblack is on top of it.
Yeah, the Master Drafter. Both teams low on bonus time here as they think about these final bans. NaVi will choose to ban out the Tide Hunter. Alliance have some flexibility here. They have done the off-lane Brewmaster. I think they did that in game 1 for Potato there. So not necessarily guaranteed they're looking for an off-laner with this final pick.
For NaVi?
For Alliance.
For Alliance. Well, NaVi's pick comes up first. I think something like an AA would be just so destructive against Alliance's lineup.
Oh, yeah, man, there's the ban. Yeah, good call.
There's absolutely no way they can let them pick AA here against Brew, Chen, and Witch Doctor, and Terrorblade. Like, all those heroes will suffer so heavily against it.
Oh, my. So what does that leave NaVi with? They need their second support. Dazzle still in the pool, a hero that's been popular in this series.
I think something with a little bit more AoE. I think they like that ump in team fights.
Well, that has much more AoE. The Lich, final pick for NaVi.
The Lich has traditionally been very poor against Chen, just because, I mean, this was when Chen had 3 creeps and Lich had not as many bounces, but now Chen has 4 creeps and Lich has, what, 10 bounces, I believe? Yeah, 10 jumps. So both of them increase in potency versus each other, but I still think Chen wins in that regard. You have to deal with Broodlings with the Chain Frost, the Chen creeps with the Chain Frost, the double heal from the Chen and the Witch Doctor, on top of that the illusions from Terrorblade.
That's fun. So Pycat takes the Brood Mother, and the Potato will take the Wind Ranger, presumably to the off lane. Switching up a little bit here, and Loda will, of course, take his Terror Blade.
The Lich is really nice for the Frost Armor, though. They don't actually have that much magic damage. Maledict, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and of course you can put the Frost Armor on towers. Semi-recent change, that was a 6.82. Not a big deal. Does help delay the pushes a little bit. Can make a minor difference, but in general, that armor will go a pretty long way here.
It's much stronger for their laning phase, though, and the Lions, you know, they dominated Game 2 by winning the laning phase, and this will limit their impact a fair amount. Wind Ranger on Potato. Potato played a very nice Wind Ranger in 2013 when Alliance had their streak of dominance, but that was mostly in the support role.
Yeah.
But he definitely knows the ins and outs of the hero.
Yeah, Wind Ranger's in an interesting place. I think we've talked about her quite a bit, just both on stream and just when we're kind of bullshitting around it. How strong is she really? And it's kind of always comes back to the shackles. If you can get off the big shackles, if you have some stunners to set it up, she can be very potent. And of course, vice versa is also true. If you can't get those disables, then she's just kind of a glorified archer.
It's also dependent on the opposing lineups, though. Not only is it the shackles, it's how much physical damage and chase do they have. Like 5 seconds of invulnerability versus the Lycan is huge. And it's also pretty good versus the Razor, although not that big of a deal, but it is really important for a right-clicker not to be owned by static linking. With Wind Run, you can just bounce in and out really quickly without having to worry about all of your damage being soaked away. And on top of that, I mean, Razor does a fair amount of right-clicks.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good defensively versus their lineup and offensively.
Can't underestimate the Wind Run. We've seen people, we've seen teams pick Wind Run, Wind Ranger against the Lycan for that very reason that you're talking about. Is she can kind of stand up against him with that evasion.
What is this cosmetic on the troll?
On the troll.
Oh, the troll witch doctor.
Oh, I was gonna say I don't see a troll here.
He has this like spider on his back. Spider shoulders of purple nightmare.
That. I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that either.
Yeah, that's a weird one.
That is
must be new.
That's cool.
You're gonna see an early skirmish here. Potato in the front lines. Havost takes the first coconut. No bounces, but all 5 of the Lions are here. Oh, Havost!
He was trying to head back and get the bounty route.
Oh, and their observer is gonna get countered. This is a pretty bad start for NaVi. Their position 1 gets killed, and they lose vision of that top rune.
Hey, they got bounty rune on bottom.
Hey, that almost makes up for it. Puck gets it, and their ward down bottom will stay safe.
So now they don't know where Chen is at all. Could be offensive jungle, could be safe lane jungle, and he has a smoke, so that makes things even scarier. Very unlikely that he's going to be ganking the Puck. So wherever the Puck is, actually Puck is on top lane. Did they swap already? I think
they're all still moving around. Looks like NaVi will put Havost down bottom to pull a rotation. Manscore heads down. Dendy obviously mid, and yeah, now Puck will go top, and Go Black's on his way up with the Lich to try and support the Fairy Dragon.
Yeah, they definitely wanted to shut down this Lycan, and now that Lycan's in the bottom lane, we'll see what Chen wants to do. Looks like he is just going to go to the mid lane, maybe spam Dendy out with a couple of Hadokens.
Yeah. It's annoying. And do they have any potential for a kill on Dendy? Not really. Pycat low on mana, does have boots, but Razor just not so easy.
Did they want this? Did they plan for this laning phase? Just because Pycat went for a boots first build, which is, I mean, I guess it's decent versus the Razor. But at the same time, he doesn't have any mana to clap, and Chen can't put out any aggression if you can't follow up with a clap.
Yeah, he doesn't have any mana to clap, but I think this is just to try and not have to worry about static link too much. Dendy did not go for the boots first, gets that Wraith Band. So that makes life a little bit easier for Pycat, in terms of dealing with static link at least.
And we see Aki do a very fantastic job of harassing Dendy yet again. He already blew his only salve and one of the shared tangos, no natural regen on his own. So 230 HP, this could be a pretty big window for Aki to smoke up and get a kill on him, provided he gets the appropriate creeps.
Although it looks like Ake has his sights set on bottom, still holding on to that smoke, but wants to make something happen. Not the best creeps for killing folks. The Dukin flies through, hits Vanscore. And that'll be the end of it. Ake just trying to harass wherever he can. And does find a Centaur in this little pack, but he's not yet level 3, which is the big bottleneck, it seems like.
Bottle not yet come out on Razor. He did buy a set of tangos, but